What if I told you a single airport was about to flip Australia's entire travel game upside down? Picture this: cheaper flights, shorter commutes, maybe even a shot at actually enjoying your next airport coffee. And no, I'm not talking about some sci-fi wormhole or teleportation booth. I'm talking about the brand new Western Sydney International Airport rising out of Badgerys Creek and ready to shake up the way Aussies fly, work, and, let's be honest, complain about traffic. See, if you've ever flown out of Sydney's main airport, you know the vibe. There's that signature Sydney bustle, a decent flat wide if you need it, and sometimes it feels like half the city is coming and going all at once. And while Kingsford Smith usually keeps things moving, it's no secret that during peak times, you might find yourself dodging rolling suitcases or joining a slow-moving conga line at security. It's a scene that's both familiar and, let's be honest, a little bit frantic. Kingsford Smith, our OG airport, has been doing the heavy lifting for decades, long before anyone dreamed Sydney would balloon to a metropolis of millions. It's running out of room, wedged between Sydney's suburbs, the Bay, and a nightly curfew that brings everything to a standstill. Seriously, nothing flies in or out between 11 PM and 6 AM. If you've ever had your flight pushed to the next morning, you know who to thank. And here's the thing, Sydney's not slowing down anytime soon, especially out west where the growth is absolutely booming. More families, more students, more people who would rather not spend half their life in traffic jams. By 2060, Greater Sydney could hit 8 million people, most of them out west, and if they all try to squeeze through Kingsford Smith, well, bring snacks, because you'll be there a while. That's where Western Sydney International, or Nancy Bird Walton Airport, comes soaring in. Planted right where Sydney's booming the most, it's a total game changer. This airport isn't playing by the old rules. Forget curfews, planes can land at midnight, take off at sunrise, and keep going when everyone else is asleep. It'll open with room for 10 million passengers, and if the planners have their way, it'll be handling a whopping 82 million by 2060. And it's not just about numbers. Western Sydney International is going full future mode. Think biometrics for breezy check-ins, automated baggage that, fingers crossed, doesn't lose your suitcase, and enough digital wizardry to make even your phone jealous. It's like Sydney asked itself, what if airports didn't suck? And then actually tried to make it happen. Now here's where things get spicy for your bank account. Right now, with just one major airport, airlines can pretty much do what they want with prices. Like, do you want to visit grandma or buy groceries this month? But when you add a second shiny new international airport, everything changes. It's like inviting a new pizza shop to town. The specials start flying. More airlines means more routes, more competition, and yes, those legendary price wars everyone hopes for. Experts are already whispering that international fares could drop by hundreds of bucks, and even domestic flights might see some healthy rivalry. And for people in Western Sydney, there's an even bigger bonus. Flying overseas will finally mean heading down the road, not across the entire city. That's a travel win the West has been waiting for. But the magic doesn't end at takeoff. This airport is a job-creating machine. During construction, it's already put tens of thousands of people to work. Tradies, sparkies, engineers, you name it. And once it's open, the airport itself will need over 11,000 workers, with tens of thousands more jobs spinning out into the new Aerotropolis. Yes, that's the actual word. Imagine a whole mini city popping up around the runways, tech hubs, business parks, logistics centers, hotels, shops, even universities. If you live nearby, you might not need to leave Western Sydney to build a career that goes global. And you know what? The transformation goes even further. The government's basically constructing a whole new city, Western Parkland City. Picture it. Brand new motorways, sparkling science parks, cafes, entertainment districts, a university here, a tech hub there. Right now, some of it's just empty paddocks and construction dust. But soon, you'll be grabbing dinner in places that didn't even exist a few years ago. If you've ever wanted to live in a city where everything feels fresh and exciting, this could be it. Now, every blockbuster story has a few twists, and Western Sydney International is no exception. The big one for Western Sydney International is, will the airlines really turn up? Sure, there's hype, but airlines are famously picky. Some might stick with Kingsford Smith, at least until the numbers look irresistible. So, the airport's management is already rolling out the welcome mat. Expect deals, incentives, and a lot of schmoozing to get the big players on board. If they succeed, you'll see more logos at the check-in desk than ever before. And then there's the commute. We all know Sydney loves a traffic jam. The government says new rail lines, metro stations, and upgraded roads will be ready for takeoff. But if they're late, well, Western Sydney could wind up as the most convenient airport you still can't get to. Imagine explaining to your boss that you missed your flight because the train was still coming soon. Fingers crossed, they pull it off in time. But wait, what about the locals? Building a 24/7 airport is a wake-up call for everyone living nearby. Some are excited for jobs and new business. Others worry about noise, late-night flights, and what happens to all the green space. Still, for a region that's always played second fiddle to the shiny eastern suburbs, this is a major moment. Western Sydney's been the punchline for too long, now it's taking the spotlight. That means less commuting, better jobs, and a city where the West finally feels like it's getting its fair share. Of course, every big win comes with growing pains. House prices could jump more than they already have, traffic could snarl, and some quiet streets might get a whole lot livelier. The big question is, can the West hold on to its character as it welcomes the future? And then there's Kingsford Smith. If Western Sydney steals the show with cheap flights and flashy tech, what happens to the old airport? It's not going anywhere, but its monopoly days might be numbered. Workers, shops, taxi drivers, they're all watching closely. A second airport means choices, but also changes. Sydney might finally become a two-airport city, but not everyone will love the adjustment. So, what happens next? Well, right now, the countdown is on. Construction crews are racing to finish the runways, the glassy new terminal is coming together, and the government's pushing hard to get the new metro and roads open before the first passengers arrive. Airlines like Qantas and Qatar Airways have already shown interest, so expect more announcements, more hype, and probably a few more political selfies on opening day. If it all comes together, Western Sydney International will do more than give us another place to catch a flight. It could mean cheaper travel, a new wave of jobs, and a whole chunk of Sydney reborn as the city's beating heart. Imagine booking a last-minute holiday and actually affording it, or landing in Sydney and getting to your new job, new home, or new favorite dumpling spot without crossing half the state. If that's not a win for the West, I don't know what is. But if it doesn't all click, we could have ourselves a very expensive monument to big dreams and big promises. A reminder that sometimes even the boldest plans hit a little turbulence. So, what do you reckon? Is Western Sydney International Airport about to launch Australia into a new era, or is it just a flashy gamble with a runway attached? Drop your hot take in the comments. Are you excited, skeptical, or already lining up for that first midnight flight out of Badgerys Creek? And hey, if you love this kind of deep dive into Australia's wildest projects and untold stories, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next video.